is up, YouTube? Welcome back to the Old Farts Garage. And thought I'd go ahead and take this morning to start putting up my wall of tools. And as you can see, I have a lot of garden tools. We do live out in the country, so those are necessities. But here's where I've started so far. I got a long ways to go, but here's my start. Got my power tools right there. All this is more like tree saws and hedge trimmers and chainsaw. And over here we've got the ladders, everything from a little 3-footer, 6-footer to a 10-footer. Yep. So behind the door got my levels, but I got a couple more I need to put up because that's not all of them. I still have a lot of stuff to unpack. So anyways, I ran out of hooks and stuff, and I got some coming. So I'm going to take a break right now from this. But all this is going to be all my tools so that I can get to them when I need them, instead of having them right there on the floor where you trip on them every time you walk by them. So anyways, this is part one, and once I get done, I will show you guys the finished product. Thanks for watching. So, welcome back, YouTube, to the Old Farts Garage. And this is part two of, as you can see behind me, hanging my tools. That's part of what I'm doing to organize my garage, or the shop. I keep forgetting it's a shop now, not a garage, because it's a little bit bigger than the garage, that's for sure. But anyways, as you can see, I got all the necessary tools you need for a small ranch. And as you can see, I've already, from part one, leading into this, I've already got my gardening tools up, like the weed eaters and blowers, that kind of stuff. Now I'm just going to hang the shovels, the rakes, and my push brooms is about the last thing I got left. So anyways, let's get to it. So before we get started, I want to show you these two orange brackets. Okay, those are my weed eaters, battery operated for the wife, and my gas powered one. All right, and as you can see, these things really make a difference. Okay, so let me show you what that's these right here. Okay, whoop, come on, Fernando. All right, these are the mounts for the, or brackets, I guess you would say, for the weed eaters. Okay, and I got these, of course, Amazon. All right, so here, garden tool hanger, and I'll put a link for those into the description if anybody's interested. And it came with these little doodads here. So, but since I don't have sheetrock in the shop, I just took the screw out, okay, and just used the screw onto the wood. So that's pretty cool. You could use either or. All right. Then for the rest of the tools, all right, we got these little bad boys. I also picked them up in Amazon. All right, and these are just various types of mounting stuff. Okay, it's got all this cool stuff here. All right, yeah. Oh, it tells you right here everything that came with it in this set. All right, so you got the two small ones, two large ones. Those are round, for whatever. And then you got two of the long extended ones for like ladders and maybe multiple tools and stuff. I'll show you how I did that on mine. Then you got a medium-sized one, All right. And then you have 5 small ones. You got 3 of the medium, 2 large, 3 medium, 5 small. All right. It also came with 2 of these either hoses or electrical wire, like extension cords that you can use to hang stuff with. They're Velcroed. Trying to use one hand, so bear with me, but you get the picture. All right. Came with 2 bags of mounting screws. They're Phillips, and they also have the adapter for the sheetrock. And there's also these bigger ones that it came with. Okay, see that? So you screw these into the sheetrock or whatever you're using, and then you screw the screw into that. So those are pretty good little anchors. Right, but I'm not using those. I'm just going straight into the wood with the screw. So here's one of the long ones. Okay, there's the medium, and there's the short, the small ones. Okay, so there's that, and then there's 2 half. I call them half moon. I don't know why, but they're pretty cool looking. Okay, and they have a rubber coating on them. See, there's a rubber on them to, you know, to keep from scratching whatever you want. Not scratched, but no biggie. All right, here's another one of the small ones, and here's another one of the medium ones. All right, then you got these majorly curved ones, 2 of them. All right, and see, you can use, they've got various, it's got 2 sets of different size holes that you can screw into, and I presume that's for using these here, you know, if you use the bigger ones, I guess. I don't know. And there's 2 of those left, which I haven't used yet. Okay, so those are the ones I haven't used yet. All right, let me show you how I used them over here. All right, so blower. Okay, there's a small one. Okay, and I can just hang my gas blower right there. Here, let me show you that again, because okay, there's the small one, gas blower, bam, right there. Okay, of course there's those orange bracket ones there. So over here I have a medium one for my post hole digger. I got one of the large ones for 3 shovels. I got my trenching shovel, my round shovel, and my square shovel. All right, so that's pretty cool. All 3 of them in one instead of using up a whole bunch of space. Pitchfork, I just used a small one. All right, so let me back up so you can see how those are hung up. Look at that, fits perfect. Look at that, that's pretty good. Okay, down here I'm going to put the smaller, down here I'll probably put smaller, shorter tools and stuff. Oh yeah, and then over here too I used a small one for my loppers and my saw. Then of course I got my extending pole saw. Over here I got 10-foot ladder and an extension cord, but I'm going to move that extension cord now that I have the proper straps for it and everything. That'll be my 6-foot ladder, which is the one I'm using right now, and then my little 3-foot step ladder. So this is the ladder wall. That's the tool wall. Got the chainsaw hanging, blower, the saws, battery operated blower. There's 2 of them, Bauer. Okay, I got my extended hedge trimmer by Works. I'm going to do a video on that soon. All right, so anyways, that's the tools and the hanging equipment I'm using for it. All right, and again, these I got in Amazon. They're fairly inexpensive. Okay, these are flex rods. That's the brackets for the weed eater. And this one's Kofani. I don't know how you pronounce that, but those are the ones to hang the tools with. So I'm gonna go ahead and put this back on the tripod and we'll get back on it. Oh yeah, and there's the 63. Waiting to get worked on again. Soon. Oh yeah, just so you know, so you can see the air compressor right there. Okay, and I've already ran the majority of the wire It needs to be hooked up to the breaker box. Okay, but the wire for the air compressor goes across there. It's already nailed there. And then I just strung it all the way down there. Now it's hanging right there. See it hanging? Okay, so now I just got to finish running it over to that 2x4 or whatever that 2x6 looks like. Run it across, down the post, and mount the box and stuff right there for the air compressor. And once I get that done, we're ready to get back on the 63. All right. This next one here is going to be for the rakes. Okay. So we'll need this. Don't mind my backside. I'm old. We're all going to get there sometime. So first of all, of course, you got to do your pilot hole. All right. And already. All right, so there's that one there. I got to invest in another drill because it's kind of a pain in the butt having to do your pilot hole, take the bit out, put your bit to screw your screws in there, and then take it off again, do your pilot hole. This way I could have both of them set up, one for each. One for pilot hole, one for putting in your screws. But that'll come in time. All right, so let's go ahead and put this in there. Yeah, perfect. Ah, damn, I'm good. Bam. There we go. There's that one. That's for the rakes. All right. Move this out of the way. Got the dirt rake, leaf rake. All right. There's that one. There's that one. And maybe, I don't know, maybe I'll put the leaf one in the back. There you go, much better. Might even be able to put this little tiny flower bed one in there. Let's see. Oh, yeah, there we go. Perfect. All three rakes are in there. Very cool. All right, let me go ahead and do the rest of them, and we'll bring you back up. there you have it, guys. Tool organization. Now I'm not tripping over everything because it's laying on the floor. Look at that. Clean floor. All right. All the garden tools, ranch tools, you name it, they're all hanging thanks to those hooks. Look at that. And the brackets. Okay, everything's hanging. It's off the floor. Nobody's tripping on it. Nobody's getting hurt. Okay, ladders are hanging. Oh, still got to do that extension cord. All right, I'll probably slip that there somewhere. And brooms, I decided to put those behind the door because they're kind of not a garden tool. They're just a shop sweep type thing. So I might even just put one here on this side and one down at the other end so I don't have to be walking back and forth. But anyways, there you have it, guys. What do you think? So that is the way I organized my tools. Looks good. Looks all nice and straight. Uniform, clean. Nothing on the floor where you're tripping over stuff. So anyways, hope you guys enjoyed it. It's a little bit of home DIY. I know it's not working on the 63, but it's needed stuff. This is the old farts garage. And I like to tinker. It's not just working on the 63, although I know some of you, that's what you're looking for. But we'll get to it eventually, Like I said, let me organize my garage and, little by little, different content, It'll help you, hopefully. If it does, let me know. Please subscribe, hit the like button, comment, whatever it is you guys want to do. This is just my way of contributing and something to do while I'm retired. So until then, I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I'm glad to be back on YouTube and giving you guys some kind of content. And hopefully you guys will be here for the next one. All right. So we'll just say, y'all have a good day, and God bless.
Hey, Brahma.